And here on the corner of la rue L'Euro-Gratier, we have the old name of the street called la rue de la Femme Sans Tête. And just above it, we have what used to be a statue without a head. Because rue de la Femme de Sans Tête, it means the road of the woman without the head. But this wasn't a woman, it was a statue of Saint Louis, who used to be one of the kings of France, and who gave his name to the island, actually, because he was canonized on this island. And Saint Louis, he wasn't very much loved by the revolutionaries who didn't like the monarchy. So they decided to decapitate his head, the head of his statue. And that's why we're missing the statue of Saint Louis. By the way, we're here on the Quai de Bourbon, which was the name of the dynasty of kings up to Louis the 16th. Who got his head chopped off as well by the guillotine. I'm just going to keep walking down a little bit more of this beautiful Ile Saint Louis. One of the places where we have the most expensive apartments in Paris, by the way. Why? Because we've got great views on the river just opposite. It's very central. As I said, they're some of the most beautiful apartments that you can find in Paris. 17th century apartments belonging to the nobility, but in great state, actually, that have been preserved very well. So they're not old and rotting, they've actually been renovated inside. And so most of these buildings actually are probably not owned anymore by Parisians, but by either very old wealthy families, but also by people from abroad, millionaires, or people who bought their houses a long time ago. 30 years ago, actually, if you'd bought a property here on the island Saint Louis, it would have costed you a lot less than it does nowadays. Now it's about €1 million or something euros for one of these flats. But actually it's not the most prized neighborhood of Paris because it's very quiet. Not everyone wants to live here. It's not like Montmartre, for example, which has, the atmosphere of the artists. No, the Ile Saint Louis is a quite particular atmosphere, very quiet. And it could be a bit touristic as well in the summer, but still, who wouldn't love to live here, right? And over here we have this building. Is interesting because it's kept its facade from the 19th century. You see it's a Au Franc Pinot. Pinot is a type of wine, and this used to be a liquor store actually. You can still see the outer grid. You see this metal grid on the outside, and on the top of it, of this grid, is a vine. And at the top of the door as well is a set of grapes. And they used to have these on the exterior of the liquor stores, so that people would know that they were liquor stores. And also, the reason why they had these metal grids is because the wine stores used to close at a certain time, and they had to shut them up so that nobody would break into there and steal all the wine. Unfortunately, now they're selling this place, In my youth, it used to be called Madame Louis, this bar, and they used to have jazz jams at the bottom. And up here is another noticeable thing about Paris. A street artist named Space Invaders. You can see the pixelated mosaic of the wine bottle. As I said, it was a liquor store, and just above it, an artist called John Hammond, who does all these portraits of himself and sticks them all over walls. He's put his head on the top of the Mona Lisa up here.